What's up, Matt?
Yo, what's up, man?
We're joined by Matt, the Immortal Brown, ladies and gentlemen. This is weird, okay? I don't think that I've ever talked to a fighter, at least on the record, on the same day that they're supposed to step in the cage that night. So this is pretty crazy, man. How you feeling about this in general? Let's start there.
Yeah, I'm literally driving downtown right now. I'm right by Nationwide Arena where I was supposed to be fighting, and it never really sunk in until just now, man. And now, yeah, it's a little bit tough, man. Kind of hurts, you know.
Sure. Yeah,
But
this whole thing got crazy. It escalated just a few weeks ago. There was really no kind of there were no kind of lockdowns like we were seeing in other countries, and then we kind of thought maybe it was going to stay overseas, and then it happened here, and it happened rapidly. The way that they shut everything down, and the parameters just got more and more, severe as far as what the restrictions were. There was talk at some point, and I think you heard it from me first, which is kind of crazy, is that Columbus, UFC Columbus, originally they were like, all right, cool. If we have to scrap it, Ohio's not going to let us do it. We'll just do it at the Apex. That's our facility. We control it. We don't have to get permission. And even that fell apart. At what point, like, what was going on? What was being told to you during that time?
um, gosh, it seems like so long ago now.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think anyone ever actually called me and told me. I think just seen the news on Twitter and stuff, and then I got an email asking for my flight info, and I think that was about it. Maybe someone told me, but I don't remember hearing an official word.
Yeah. And so once all that transpired, and then they, basically came to the conclusion that the Nevada Athletic Commission was not going to let them go ahead with any events at the Apex. Um, after that, uh, they were talking about like some Indian casinos and maybe Alabama or Oklahoma, and like the whole thing just seemed really sketchy. It didn't affect your card as much, but Leon Edwards, it was famously like, you know, pointed out that they tried to get him to hop on a flight, not even knowing if the fight was going to happen, and I just thought it was a little reckless because I know that Dana was, mostly his heart was in the right place. He's trying to just make this things happen so you guys can fight, so you get paid, so the fans can enjoy. However, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. It felt like it was going to be out of his control. Would you have
Yeah,
hopped on a flight to a place knowing that you might get stuck there without your family?
yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I was left in limbo there for about a few days at least, because the original thing they were saying they were going to have it in Nevada at the Apex, like you said. But then, when Nevada had that meeting, the first meeting, they said, well, we'll have another meeting on the 24th, I think was what it was, and we'll reevaluate the situation then, which would have been Tuesday, like last Tuesday. So in my head, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna fly out there and not know if I have a fight until Tuesday or Wednesday. Not even know if the fight's going to go on. So that was a little bit. At that point, I kind of had the feeling. I kept training, but I really had the feeling this is a lost cause, and it's not going anywhere for any time soon. Yeah, it's just been a mess, man. I don't know. I mean, um, the whole world's a mess right now. What the fuck do you do, man? I don't know.
Yeah, and especially if if you're not able to work from home and your paycheck relies on you having to go out there, where it's mostly shut down, with you guys, with all kinds of front. I mean, here in Las Vegas, dude, everything is the casinos. That's probably never happened like since they started. Like the roulette wheels are
Right.
not spinning. You know what I mean? There's no dice getting thrown on the table. There's nothing. They're all closed by order of the governor. I think the schools are all closed. So now you have people who can't go to work and their kids can't go to school. It's tough, man. You have kids, and you're a business owner. You have the gym. So, I mean, what's your contingency right now? It's got to be tough.
Yeah, the whole thing's crazy. So I got my fight got shut down, so I lost that paycheck as far as I know at this point. Um, Gym gets shut down, so you're gonna lose some memberships from that. So losing a little bit of money there. The coffee business is still going pretty strong. We actually have increased numbers there. I guess more people are probably shopping online and come across the business. So those numbers are going up, which is about the best thing happening for me right now. So I'm trying to homeschool the kids and stay in the house and trying to do some things on on the business and stay in shape for the return. Hopefully this thing passes by pretty quick. I guess the numbers are looking pretty grim at this point. Is the scary thing, but hopefully we get through it pretty quick and I can come back stronger, get a lot of lifting, so get back stronger, have my business back stronger. Having a lot of time to focus on some of those things that were kind of pushed to the side during training camp. So I see it as a positive thing. I try to turn it into a positive thing where I can focus on these things. Got a lot of work done around the house. Got to spend quality time with the kids, getting stronger. Hitting PRs on my lifts. Just try to turn this negative into a positive. And I know everybody's going through a hard situation now, so I don't know how everything's gonna play out, man. I tried to figure out, if the government's going to help out my business or whatever. They're the ones that forced me to shut it down, and they're like, they're offering me loans. I'm like, you forced me to shut down my business. Now you're going to offer me to go into debt. I mean, it just seems like a tough situation all around, but we'll see what happens. I mean, you just got to do the best we can. Everything's kind of out of our own hands right now, and we have to, got to trust these fucking politicians that we don't trust. So.
Yeah, man. Tell me about it. So we know how you're spending time. Obviously, like you said, there are a lot of good things. I'm experiencing the same thing. It's a double-edged sword, right? Because being able to spend quality time with the kids is great, but it could be overwhelming too. Because when you're trying to get shit done and you're trying to teach the kids. I don't know if I told you, I started teaching at UNLV, and so I teach there, and now so I'm doing that remotely. And now I'm doing that remotely, and I'm teaching preschool at the house because the kids can't go to preschool.
Yeah.
But I see that you're getting back into the guitar as well. I mean, I know you always have been, but you're getting back into uploading your videos, man, shredding.
Well, getting a lot more practice in, that's for sure. So, so I try to spend this time positively. I love playing the guitar, man. It's a lot of fun. Matt Heafy was kind enough to send me his signature guitar from Epiphone. What a fucking badass guitar that is. So I said, man, I better play this thing, So I've been rocking out a lot, getting those licks up. Maybe I'll put together some songs, man. Maybe I'll send you something over, throw some vocals on it for me.
Do it, man. I got nothing but time, and I got a studio here. So, So for those of you weak dicks out there that don't know who Matt Heafy is, Matt Brown is, of course, talking about the lead singer / guitarist from Trivium, one of the just most amazing technical players, best songwriters. I saw you playing some Megadeth the other day. That's right in the same vein because you have a lead guitarist who's actually also the singer, which usually if there's two guitarists and one of them sings, he's usually a rhythm guitar player. And Megadeth has that set up as well.
Yeah, kind of. Dave does some solos, but
yeah,
those old days, man, rust in peace with Marty Friedman, man, that was just magical for the Megadeth, man. What amazing, so technical, so hard to play. Takes a lot of practice, and for me mentally, man, it's very stimulating and challenging, and it's just like learning jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai or something, where you just sit there and practice over and over, and eventually it just becomes second nature.
So, were you playing something off that album the other day on the last video you posted?
Holy Wars, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Maybe it's tough to hear. I'm kind of trying to figure out the audio setup to get a good video, but
yeah.
I was doing Holy Wars.
That's a classic, man. God, that never gets old, man. So yeah, I wanted to ask you. Actually, before I ask you what music you've been binging on lately, every time we talk, I forget to ask you about some of the Ohio bands out there, and because I forget how many there really are, and some of my
Yeah.
favorites are like Marilyn Manson, of course, and
Mhm.
then we've never. I don't know how we've never talked about this Mushroom Head. I've even got the
Oh, you got
got some of the
you're
lyrics,
nice.
got the X Face,
Nice.
Never Let It Go. Love Mushroom Head. What are your thoughts on those guys and Manson and some other bands from Ohio?
Love Mushroom Head, man. They were one of the first concerts I ever went to when I was a youngster. I'm friends with Waylon Revis now. He used to sing for him, one of the singers.
Yeah.
Um, he's got a new band, The Killer's Confessional, pretty solid, more hard rockish, not as Mushroom Headish, but a great band.
I'll check that
Um,
out. Killer's
you forgot
Confessional.
Killer's Confession.
Okay.
You forgot to mention probably my favorite metal band ever from Ohio, Chimera.
Oh,
Yeah.
I opened up for them once actually.
Oh,
That was
nice.
very cool experience in downtown Dallas. It was Overkill, or it was excuse me, Impending Doom. Chimera was the headliner, and I had a boxing match that night. It's funny because my coach was like, he was like, "Yeah, man, we can, we can reschedule. You can fight anytime." And I was like, "Nah, I don't want to back out of it. I'm just gonna do it." And I did, man. I did a fucking metal show, and then I went and did a boxing match. I don't recommend anyone to do that.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, 45 minutes on stage doing metal is hardcore, man. Singing.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a lot out of you, I'm sure.
Yeah, so Chimera. Okay, yeah, no, those guys are great. And then there's a ton of other. I just can't, like, I always think they always pop up in my head, and I think about you and Damon, and I'm like, I bet these guys fucking have some stories about these bands.
Well,
Oh,
now there's some new up and comings. I don't really know of any, a lot of metal that's around from Ohio these days, but there's Red Sun Rising, pretty hard group. Not real hard, but like radio hard. Um, who else? A Star Set. Not really, totally my vibe, but they're kind of famous now. They're right here in Columbus. So,
hmm.
still a solid scene, man. Still a strong scene.
Yeah, well, back in Michigan, there used to be a lot of like the new metal bands back and that's when I lived there. It was in like the late '90s and at the turn of the century. That was like I love some of those bands still, man. I don't give a shit.
Hey, there was hella great grooves coming out of all those bands back in that day.
Yeah, a lot of them, man, and some of them just kind of got like a little too commercial, a little too trendy, and just kind of watered that whole scene down. Like Limp Bizkit comes to mind, of course. There were some great bands. So there's a new Hatebreed album, or actually a new single, I should say. Sounds pretty damn good. You said you like it. What else you been What else you been jamming lately?
Gosh, what have I been jamming, man? So, well, since I've been quarantined and picking the guitar back up a little more, um, I've been kind of practicing some of the older licks, and I'll get some more videos up here soon. I'll get some songs that I enjoy playing, like a Slayer, probably like some South of Heaven type stuff, maybe a little bit of Rain and Blood type stuff. Lamb of God, I've been on. I think the next one I'm gonna work on is gonna be some Trivium, since Heafy sent me the guitar.
Fuck
I should
yeah,
definitely get some Trivium out there.
yeah. I bet we can get him to share that on social media too, man.
For sure.
He'd probably
For
love
sure.
that. So,
Yeah, he loves that.
what song you
Um,
thinking? Because I got some ideas. Go ahead.
Probably like Light to Flies.
Oh, I love that one.
Gunshot to the Head of Trepidation.
Yes. Can you
Full
play that?
Harder. Yeah.
Gunshot to the Head of Trepidation is fucking amazing, dude. It's
Yeah.
so technical. Just the riffage is like off the charts, man. I love that.
It was a Pull Harder on the Strings of something or other.
Yeah.
Um,
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I always forget the name because it shows up on my screen and it stops right there. But what else? There's God, man, he's got so many good songs. I've been kind of digging through, deciding which Anthem, We Are the Fire, trying to decide which one to really dig into and really perfect, because any of them you can just pick up and just, you know, play the riff or whatever, but to actually play the full song, you know, it takes a little bit of practice. So I think I'm leaning towards more of the older stuff. You know, and I might have to do my song that Josta wrote for me, the Immortal. You know, I might just have to pick it up and do it.
Do it, man. Yeah, man.
I don't usually tune my guitars as low as a lot of these. That's where I miss out, because I only got 2 guitars, and I usually keep one at standard, one a half step down, and you know, and I hate having to tune all the way down to like B or C or something for a Slipknot or for, you know, for Morbid Angel or something, and then, you know, it's a whole fucking process. So.
Oh no, it is, man.
I just need more guitars, man.
Yeah, yeah. I got about 4 of them here, man. I can barely play. I play like power chords, you know, Misfits, 3 chords in the truth. Like that's really all I know how to play. It helps my writing process sometimes too. Like sometimes I'll write a riff, or sometimes I'll come up with an idea for a song lyrically, and then maybe just kind of tool around with the guitar to, you know, help me write it out. So some of the stuff that I've been getting into, and this is kind of like throwback, and some of it's new stuff. You know, some of my boys have turned me on to. Been listening to a lot of BLS. I actually saw them at Ozfest in 2002 at fucking at Ozfest in Columbus, or no, Cincinnati. I went down to Columbus, and then I was dating this girl out in Cincinnati, and me and some of her friends, we all went.
Beautiful, man. I've seen Zach at least 3 or 4 times. I got to meet him one time. He came down to West Side Barbell not too long ago.
No shit.
Yeah, got to hang out with Louis a little bit. Yeah, really, really great music. You know, I just can't get the solos. You know, like I'm not a solo guy, so it's like that's what BLS revolves around, man.
Yeah. You know, it's just. The thing is, I'm finding myself, like, because you mentioned a couple of bands that you're like, they're not quite metal, but they're hard. And it's like, anymore, man, like when it comes to up and comers, like, I'm like, there's really no rock and roll anymore. Not like it was when in the 90s, man, when you and I were in high school. Like, rock and roll dude, when I sit back and listen to like Tool or Primus, and I see these guys in concert, I think, holy shit, man. Rollins band, like this shit was mainstream when I was a kid. That's how good our fucking taste was back then.
I know, but man, there's still good metal coming out all the time.
Yeah, metal's timeless.
That's the thing, you know, metal's always got some good shit, and to me, I mean, it feels like metal is the most, you know, maybe I'm biased, but it just feels like the most like versatile, wide open type of music there is, man. Like you can do anything with it. You can take it just about anywhere, all the way from slow to heavy to screaming to singing and everything in between. Put effects in there like Slipknot does, or, you know, just keep it straight and raw like Death or Hatebreed or Slayer. I mean, you can just do anything with it, man. And there's not too much other music that I feel that way about. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a metalhead, but artistically, metal is just wide open, man. I mean, how many songs could you have a guy, well, like Trivium, you know, where he's screaming, you know, gut throat vocals, and then sings like a ballad, you know, on the next part. So,
and very few people, as far as vocalists, can pull that off, and a lot of bands try, and it sounds like shit. And there are a few that just do it so well that you just, you know, it just works. That's one of those bands. For sure.
Yeah, they got a mess, you know.
So, and you know what? And I am biased, but here's a true statement. Regardless, is metal music is the hardest music to play. Any professional musician, no matter what, if they're in a fucking symphony orchestra, I mean, and they know how to read music, they will tell you it's like, because it's a lot of times it's really fast. It's very, very technical. It's very hard to play, and it has, you know, the smallest audience. We get the least amount of credit for, and other people don't get it, man. And for me, it speaks to me, man.
Yeah, well, that and maybe jazz too, like
sure.
Jazz gets pretty damn crazy.
Absolutely, and I think of metal as absolutely just like a perfect blend of just like rock and roll, blues, and jazz. Like if you look at the progression, the chord progressions in some really technical like metal, death metal and stuff like that, I hear jazz in there. I go, man, these guys are like, they could play anything if they really wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, it's all based off like classical music. It's like if you take Mozart and Beethoven, Paganini and stuff like that, and you just make it heavy as fuck and distorted, turn it from a lot of the major chords or major keys they use to minor, then you got metal.
Yep, that's exactly right. All right, so a couple more bands, and these are some newer ones that I've kind of discovered in the last year or two, or even in the last month or two. Um, Deadbird. Have you heard of Deadbird?
No.
Okay, you got to check that out. I'll send you some of this stuff. I'll shoot you a text or something. Deadbird is like a band I just cannot get enough of. It's a very sort of progressive, almost like I guess you would call it doom, but like stoner rock, like stoner metal, like where it's just like a slow burn, just fucking jam set. Like some of the songs like 7-9 minutes long, just
Nice.
jamming. I love it.
Like crowbars.
Yeah, very crowbarish. Oh my god, dude! There's a fucking binge I've been on, dude. I've been on a crowbar binge like crazy. Yeah. Valley of the Sun. Have you heard this, guys? Okay.
Nope.
I cannot get enough of this band. I will send you this one as well. Valley of the Sun, Old Gods is the name of the album. A buddy of mine told me about it, and I found it, and I honestly thought I found the wrong thing. I thought it was like a fucking spa music at first because the cover of it looks like a Buddhist like spa music, yoga music type CD, right? And then the first song starts playing, and it almost either sounds like Tool or like meditation music, and I'm like, I definitely found the wrong shit. Then the guitars kick in, you're like, all right, this is good. This is nice. Good.
Love it.
Uncle Acid. Uncle Acid is like a Black Sabbath kind of throwback, and it's Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, and it's fucking legit. So,
I'm on it.
So no, that one either. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. These younger cats have to keep me posted on shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I explore some new shit here and there, but like I said, since I've been jamming, man, I want to play shit that's classic for me, like Slayer and Lamb of God and Pantera. That stuff has been around for ages, man. That it's timeless, and of course, Megadeth. I mean, like I said in my post, dude, Holy Wars. I mean, it's the masterpiece of all thrash masterpieces, in my opinion.
Fuck yeah. So if you throw some videos up, man, and I wish I could sit down and show you, like, the best way to hook this stuff up. If you're around Damon at all, he might be able to, because a lot of the stuff that we use for audio production, it translates to music as well. And just from being in bands and stuff is how I learned how to do it. But yeah, dude, no, the video, the quality sounds very good, actually. I was gonna tell you, man, next one you post, if you do that Gunshot in the Head of Trepidation, or you do Lamb of God or Pantera, something that I know like by heart, I might like rip the audio and throw some vocals down, and nice. And I'll share it if it's good. If it sounds like shit, I'll just delete it. Like if I sound like shit.
Yeah, I just put a mic in front of my amp. I mean, I got a nice Rode mic that we use for shooting videos and stuff. But I just put it right in front of the amp, and that's the best I can come up with right now.
All right, just want to circle back to fighting real quick, because we could go on about metal all day, and we have before. The fight you were supposed to have tonight was Miguel Baeza, I believe. Is that? Yeah. And he's a guy I saw him on Contender Series here in Las Vegas at the new Apex, and I thought that was kind of weird, but they've kind of been doing that with all of these Contender Series guys. Instead of putting them in there against other contenders, against other up and comers, they're basically bringing them in and throwing them right to the wolves, just being like, hey, you get a veteran, you get a veteran. We're seeing a lot of that. Did it make you feel any kind of way at all, though, when they gave you a guy who's a newcomer versus a guy who's a veteran like you?
I was surprised a little bit. Like, I never heard of his name before. I haven't got to watch the Contender Series much, so I never heard of him or anything. But, most of the time, like, I don't even ask them who the opponent is. I mean, they tell me, of course, but I just tell me where and when to fight. I mean, we'll figure it out when we get in the cage.
Sure. Right on. So yeah, the last thing that you heard, you said there's not been any word as far as when they might be able to rebook it.
No, I haven't had a word. I haven't heard a word, man. I'm just kind of left in limbo, trying to get in the best training that I can and see what happens. I mean, I also haven't heard any word of when we're going to be released from our quarantine, or when this COVID Corona thing is going to settle down. Like, I don't think anyone knows anything really, right?
Yeah, I know, man. It's crazy. Craziest shit I've ever seen in my life, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the whole world's changing right now, right? Like, I don't know how this is all going to turn out, but I get the feeling that the world's never going to be the same again after this.
Yeah, me too. I really do. It's a strange vibe out there, man. Like, I see you're out of the house. I haven't been out for a few days just because I haven't really had a reason to. And, well, I'm not going to take the kids anywhere, for no reason. And I don't have anybody to watch them. So, But, yeah, man, I've been picking up the guitar a little bit myself, too. And just trying to get some chops back. And I need to get the vocals back on track, too, man, because it's been a while. I've been so immersed with, just with school and the military and with covering the UFC and all that. But right now, time to take a knee and, regroup. Hey, listen, I want to, first of all, thank you so much for your time, brother. I know you're a busy guy. It's hard to pin you down. We're both super busy, so it's hard to get our schedules to line up. And also wanted to see if we could help maybe throw some more customers your way, because you did say that your coffee business is thriving. I would love to support that. And so if you could just tell us where we can find it, and I'll be buying, and hopefully some of the listeners will too.
Yeah, theimmortalcoffee.com. I think it's The Immortal Coffee on Twitter and Instagram too.
The Immortal Coffee, man. Tell me about this. How'd you get into the coffee business? This just kind of came out of nowhere, dude. I knew you were doing like workout equipment and some other things. How'd you do this one?
Yeah, that's I got my friend Connor Flynn, my business partner. Yeah, we just kind of talked about it a little bit. To be honest, at first I didn't really take it quite as serious as I thought that he would. Like he was all about it, and did all the legwork and everything, and put the brand together. And I was excited about it from the beginning. And he has great sources for coffee, and I'll tell you, like I said, I didn't really take it totally serious. And then about a month or so in, I was like, damn, he's really all about it. And we signed our business agreement, and I've loved it ever since, man. Like, it's a fun business to be in, get to meet a lot of people. Everybody seems to really like the coffee, so we're having a great time, and putting some good things out there and helping people get good coffee in their mouths.
Hell yeah, I need good coffee in my soul.
Everybody needs good coffee, and the best coffee is the Immortal Coffee.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Hey, my floor director wanted to say hi.
Hi, little girl. What's your name?
My name's Baby Anna. Baby
What's
Anna.
up?
It stands for badass. She's a tiger, man. She's a tiger. My wife, when I were talking last night, like, it's like my son got like the nice part of me and my wife, and it's like she got the vicious part of me and my wife, so she's like meaner than all of us. How old is your girl, man? They're about the same age, huh?
Yeah, she's 4.
Oh, okay. Mine's just 2.
Yeah, little girl's the toughest, man.
Yeah.
She's a little firecracker and doesn't take no for an answer.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yep. I know all about it. All right, brother. Stay safe out there. If you see any zombies, take them out. And, man, stay in shape. Stay on the guitar, man. We love it. And, Matt Brown, hopefully we'll see you back in the cage real soon, bud.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, brother.
All right, brother. Take care.
See you.
Later.